And welcome back everybody for the Russian Grand Prix here in Sochi, and I am joined today again by Ethan.
Hello, good to be back in the commentary box as per usual. After quite an eventful Monaco Grand Prix using the Formula 2 cars. What an end to that feature race.
Exactly, there was plenty of action. That feature race, that super soft tyres, people to start. It started to wear out, didn't it?
Yeah, we got punctures, last lap crashes. Someone was going across the finish line backwards. There was there was a load of stuff going on.
14 drivers here today, not what we expected or anticipated, but the Euros are on and this game is coming to an end, so I expect many drivers to appear tonight, but this is the 11th round out of 13. The last two races we have are in Spain and Russia. Spain and Hungary, sorry, but we are here in Russia, so we're just hearing the drivers fire up the engines and waiting to go. So championship leader Jules hasn't won a race yet, and he looking set because I don't think his rival's here. Yeah, Yannick's here tonight. He didn't appear last time out, but Yannick is here challenging his championship rival. I can't quite find the drivers' championship because I haven't got them, as Mickey Ulizzi hasn't updated them, so I don't know what the gap is, but I know Jules has gained an advantage on his championship rival. Hasn't won a race yet, but he'll see if he continues that and see if he wins the championship. So on the track we've got Williams and a Haas, and that's Max Rowe on the track. Now I know he's raced here, Max Rowe, in a different league because I saw him, and he's got some experience around this track. I know some people haven't done any practice because I don't think they really want to around this track. We've got VER Chris out there in the Williams, and he's coming around. I can't quite know what the corners are because I haven't really done my research about this track, but what do you think about this track, Ethan? You've got different opinions compared to me.
Yeah, I'm one of the ones that's actually I really enjoy this track to race on. I find these 90-degree fifth and fourth gear corners actually quite interesting. I like the flow of the track, and it's not like a Baku 90-degree corner where you've got a massive sausage curb where you can't push the limit. These curbs at Russia are actually quite nice and easy to ride. You do have to be careful of the little yellow sleeping policeman curbs, but they aren't on every single corner, and you can actually there's a bit of give and take between yourself and the track limits.
For the second consecutive week, Bakayoko has received a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with somebody. We're on board Chris as he makes his way through turn 1 now, heavy braking zone into turn 2, which leads straight into turn 3. Make sure you don't invalidate, and he has a nice exit coming out there. Coming through turn 4 now, the long left-hander, and we wait to go to turn 5. Brake under the shadows, swing it through the right-hander. Nicely done. Use the exit curb as we now make our way down into turn 6. Can be difficult on exit. No oversteer through there. As we come through turn 7, another difficult corner, especially the exit of it because it's very easy to invalidate and go wide, which he doesn't do. Keeps it within the track limits. Coming through turn 8 now, slight lock up at entry, but it won't affect him too much. You just heard the tyre scraping just a bit. Now we're coming through turn 9 on the right-hander, on the curb, on the throttle we go. DRS open again, and you can see his fuel lights popped up already, so he's only fueled that car to do one lap only. As we come through the heavy braking zone into turn 10, 3.6 there in the middle sector. Now coming into turn 11 to the left-hander, takes the curb and really nicely now, and stable on the rear through turn 12 and turn 13. Let's see where he takes it. Nicely done there, does a drift out wide. Turn 14, nicely done again, and now we'll make our way into the right-hander into turn 15. Nicely done again, don't invalidate on the exit, don't go too wide. Same here, another right-hander, and it's a 29.7. That's a decent first lap time I've seen, and that's 29.7 everybody has to beat, so good banker from Chris there.
Yeah, quite a nice tidy lap now, as I'm currently watching Jules, our championship leader, now coming down through turn 11 and under the bridge, making sure that he's nice and clean on exit. It's very easy to light up the tyres in this final sector. These corners are a little bit slower than some of the other corners on the track. Now coming down to the penultimate corner, needs to be careful not to invalidate, and it looks like he hasn't done that. Nice and clean from our championship leader. He's going to cross the line and just go second behind Chris after that brilliant lap from the Williams driver. Jules sets a 1 minute 30 dead, so very interesting to see if anyone can top Chris's time.
Ginger behind Jules. He started his flying lap now. We've got other people coming around the final corner to do their flying lap. We've got Sahilu then making his way. It went a bit wide through there, not too bad for him. To turn 14 now as we make our way into turn 15. Sahilu, I don't think he hasn't got a podium yet. He was bound to get one at the Belgian Grand Prix, but that double stack really costed him. He uses a lot of entry there in that corner, and it's a 4th place with a 30.1, a few hundreds off Cola Killer, who's currently in 3rd place. So we've got one driver in the 29 so far. Chris is really looking comfortable, especially that one lap time that gave him that 29.7. Who else we got out there to do their flying lap? Bake Yoga on an out lap, as his teammates has invalidated his lap time. As we saw Ginger moments ago, where is he? He's on the straight now. As he comes down into the heavy breaker zone, he has invalidated his lap time, so the Ginger has a massive lock up into that corner, goes deep, and that's his lap time over and done with. Unless he's got another it's got fuel to go for another lap time, but it looks very untidy, so it seems, on his lap time. We've got another one that's invalidated at 7th place, Martin in the Ferrari. Don't know if I'm pronounces his name correctly. I can't even say it correctly properly. 1st place goes Yannick with a 29.3. That's a really good lap time from him, and he's 4/10 clear of Chris. So 29.3. That's a fantastic lap time, don't you think, Ethan?
Yeah, I was actually watching him on board through that lap time, and there was a little period towards that, the end of that lap where he definitely improved. So I reckon potentially he might be touching the 128s if he can tidy up that last little section and maybe figure out a way to conserve a bit more ERS so he's got complete deployment for the entirety of the lap.
It's a shame for Bake Yogurt because he was on a lap time and it apparently went purple through sector 1, but sadly for him, he has invalidated that one, so we're going to have to go back in the pit lane because he hasn't got enough fuel in the car, as you can see on his MFD. So it looks like he's going to have to go for it again. He's already been back in the pits once and now he's making his trip twice. Fuzzy is P7 with a 31.3 in the Alfa Romeo. So quite a few invalidations going on then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers have not set a lap time just yet. Who else is out there to do a lap? Max is coming back in the pit lane. Shender's on his out lap.
Yeah, he's just about to come round the final corner now to set a lap.
There he is then, so we'll go on board with Shender then as he makes his way on the straight to start his first flying lap then. As we head into turn 1, this is turn 1 by the way if you didn't know that. I'm going to approach the heavy braking zone into turn 2, which follows immediately into turn 3 then. So let's see where it takes it. Very nicely indeed, hooks up the corner nicely. Both of them turn 2 and turn 3. Now the left-hander of turn 4 used a lot of curve on the edge, you'd keep it as tight as possible. Now we're making our way, swooping our way into turn 5 using 4th gear and 5th gear on the exit, and now we're coming through turn 6. The first sector is going to be a 32.7, has a lock-up at entry but that won't affect him too much so it seems, as now we make our way now into turn 6. How's it going to be? A little bit of hesitation. You can see oversteer kicked him off the track and that caused him a validation and he'll have to go for it again.
Yeah, that was very unlucky there from Shender. He took a little bit too much curb, I think, on that fast right-hander of turn 7, and that's just unsettled the car a little bit, potentially showing us that he's going for quite an aggressive setup as well, meaning he'll be a little bit slipperier than some of the other drivers down in the straight line.
Symbolics his turn to start a lap time now as he rounds the final corner to go on his first flying lap. Let's see how he does now as he comes into turn 1. Very easy flat out corner. Now turn 2 and turn 3, let's see where it takes it. Where does he brake? Is it the 100 meter board you brake at? I think it is because he just broke there. Second and third corner, it messes up the second corner just a bit on exit, which compromises entry into turn 3. Wonder how much time that's going to affect him. Now we're coming into turn 4. Now through turn 5 we go. Takes the wide line, uses the exit, uses the curve on the exit, coming through turn 6. A 32.8 in the first set, so I've seen some people do that No oversteer. It all looks settled and stable. Coming into turn 7. Nicely done from him. Now through turn 8. Looks very nice and tidy from Symbolic's point of view. Turn 9 as we go onto the straight now. Uses the curb on the exit. DRS wide open. And there's a Haas driver in front of us. We might give him a bit of a distant tow as he gets nicely out of the way for him. That is Maxwell, currently sat in P3. There's a 103.9 as he approaches the heavy braking zone. Third sector now. This can be a bit difficult. Uses the curb. Does he use the curb? No, he doesn't. I've seen some people use the curb on the entry into turn 13 and turn 14, but he doesn't do so. Takes the normal line. Very nice and tidy from him. Coming into the last 2 corners. And now the final corner he comes. Let's see what this lap time is. I thought for 1 second he's going to spin. And he spun. He just applied the throttle a bit too early there for the car's liking. And that's a 30.2 for Symbolics, who puts him up into 7th place.
Yeah, he managed to cross the line before he ended up spinning completely. I was just on board with Chris, and he invalidated on the final corner. He was pushing and pushing and pushing. He set purple first sector, purple second sector, so he was definitely on for provisional pole position. And then when he came around the final corner, he just went a little bit too deep and unfortunately invalidated his lap.
For 12 cars on the circuit, there's a lot of traffic in that final sector as Jules goes into 4th place with 29.8. Fortunately for him, traffic did not get in the way. The Ferrari driver managed to get out of the way before he came around the final 2 corners. We've got a lot of people on their lap times, and I wonder who to spectate first. You said Chris invalidated, which he is, and he's ran out of fuel too for good measure. Jules is not on a lap time, he's just invalidated it. And Luke is not on a lap time either. He might be come back in the pits because of the fuel he has. 2/10 down is Yannick in the first sector, so it's not been a good first sector for him so far, so I wonder if he's just made a mistake somewhere on that lap. But now he makes his way now into the left-hander. Nice, carried a lot of speed through there. Into the right-hander we go, onto the straight, locks up an entry, uses all of the curb on the exit with DRS now open for him. There's only 2 cars in front of us. The Haas driver's coming around the Puddlesby corner. I wonder if that's Max coming around the final corner now. Let's see where Max goes. It is P2. It's a 29.7, and it's a few hundreds quicker than FRL Luke in P3. Yannick gained some time back in the middle sector, but it's not an improvement for him. So what lap time can he find in that last sector then? As now he makes his way now towards the penultimate corner. Final corner he comes. What lap time is it going to be for the Dutchman? It's going to be... Oh, he's just... Does that lap time count? I'm not quite sure. It's a 29.3. Did not improve, or did he? I'm not quite sure. Did he improve?
I'm not 100% sure, to be completely honest. Ooh. Oh, no way that counted.
He was way above.
Martin in P6. Sorry to interrupt, but Martin in P6 has completely track extended the final corner, nearly hit the wall on the exit, and actually set a lap time.
I thought that's what Yannick did as well. It was a 29.324, and that did not invalidate his lap time, so that counted, but he went way off the track. I'm surprised that didn't get invalidated. His teammate in the Renault, Shender, is coming around the final corner now. His teammate is in P12. What can he do? Making his way around the final corner, has a lock up at entry at 29.6. It's a Renault 1-2 for both of them.
That was very, very clean from Shender there. I did say that he did have some chance to improve his lap time, and he's actually set a proper lap time for once. But it's looking very, very tight from P2 all the way down to about all the way down to everyone who set a lap time. It's a decent amount of time. Everyone's really close together. So just waiting on Just and Bakke Yogurt to set a lap time. And with 4 minutes to go, they're definitely going to have enough chance to do that.
Bakke Yogurt has a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Shender. I didn't see what happened, but I do believe they were both in the first sector together, as it seemed on the full map track. So both of them came together. Bakke Yogurt was behind Shender. I don't know if he just hit the back of him or didn't see him, but whatever it was Shender ahead of him. Oh, what's going on here?
Ooh, I don't know what's going on. I take it we're looking at the same thing.
Yeah.
Martin and Yanni just before pit lane entry. That was a bit of an odd one.
Yeah, both in the same team as well. I'm not quite sure what those two were doing.
Luckily, neither of them got a 5-second time penalty. Not time penalty, sorry, grid place penalty.
If Yanni got a 5 place grid penalty, he'll be absolutely frustrated because he'll start down in P6, where his championship rival is P6 at the moment. So we'll give a position to him. But everybody's in the pits except 2, which is VER Chris and FRL Ginger. So we'll see how those two are doing. Ginger currently down in P11 with his teammate, as we see Williams coming out of the pit lane, which is Cola Killer. So Ginger with a 30.2 says he's done no practice and is a bit rusty, but can he get out of the 30s and get himself in the high 29s if he can help it? His teammate Fuzzy is a 31.3 in 12th place. VSR, Yost and Bakke Yoga haven't set a lap time just yet. I haven't seen what happened to Yost or Bjokum, but I hope those two set a lap time. Bakke Yoga is out of the track now and on an out lap, so he's got 3 minutes left of this session. I don't think he can come back in the pits and put on a brand new set of tyres, so this is going to count now for Bakke Yoga because the pit lane is about 30 seconds, very slow.
I was getting a little bit concerned whether Chris was going to enter some traffic. He's just started his lap, but thankfully he's got past 3 cars have just come out of the pit lane. That was a very, very close one. So everyone now trying to set their final lap time of the session.
We'll go ball Chris then first. I didn't notice him on a flying lap, but let's see what he does in the first sector. Is it an improvement for him? It's a slight improvement from VER Chris, so very good from him indeed. As you said, got past those 3 cars, which is a McLaren, Haas and a Mercedes, as he makes his way now towards the left-hander. How he takes it very nicely, 5th gear corner indeed, now coming through the right-hander. I think the first set is quite difficult in all honesty, not because it's because of the tight corners. It's very easy to validate, not very easy to crash there, but in terms of validation it's very easy to do so. His middle sector is a 10th up, and that's going to put him ahead of Max if he can keep it up. If he finds more time, he could potentially find himself in 2nd place. So let's see if Chris keeps it nice and tidy now, makes his way through the slowest corners. Rides the curb on that one. Very good grip indeed as he makes his way now towards the penultimate corner. Lock up on entry. Keeps it nice and tidy. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 29.5. He goes into P2. He found a 10th in the last sector. He was up slightly in the first, so he gained a lot of time in that last sector, did Chris. And that's it for him. He's not going to go for it again, so we'll keep an eye on others, see what they're doing. Max is on a lap in P4. Where's Jules? He's on a lap as well. He's just started his fire lap. We won't go on board with Ginger, who has invalidated it.
Don't know whether he's going to have enough fuel to go for another run. I hope he does.
He can't come back in the pits because there's not enough time, but if he's got enough fuel in the car, he could do one more lap. Can Ginger? Those tyre wear is not an issue around here, so he can afford to do another lap time if he wants to. But yes, he is going to do another lap time, and this last lap will count because he's only got that 1 lap time to do. But if he does start P11, he'll have the choice to go on a brand new set of the medium compound tyres, and that's his preferable choice. Bakke Yoga is out there somewhere. There he is. It's a 3.4 in the middle sector. So let's see what he does now coming into these 2 slow corners. You see, he had to back out of it on the steering wheel because the back end was just stepping out as he approached, as Symbolics has crashed through turn 5, it says on the mini-map, as Bakke Yoga then makes his way around the final corner. What a lap time is it going to be? A 29.4. He goes up into 2nd place. What a lap time from the Dutchman. That's a really good lap time.
That was a brilliant lap time indeed. If there was ever going to be a chance where he was going to do it, it was going to be on his last lap. After 3 invalidations in a row, he's finally done it, and he's put the car in 2nd place.
I'm not quite sure. Jules has got up into P6, but I'm not quite sure what's happened to Max because he was up in the middle sector. Then in the final corner, he's just locked up and gone into the wall, and that's qualifying done for him. Where's FRL Luke? It's an improvement for the first sector for Luke. Who else is out there? His teammates out there, who is not on a lap time, it seems. Sahilu is slightly down in the middle sector. What can he do? He's currently in P9 as he makes his way now to the final 2 corners. Keep it nice and tidy. The back end just wants to step out just a bit. What's it going to be? It's going to be P8 behind Luke. Where's Luke? There he is. 2/10 up in the middle sector. This will probably put him into P4 if he can keep it nice and tidy and find more time in that last sector. Yannick at 28.9 and Luke is P2. Wow.
Qualifying so far. The final car looks like he's going to across the line. Oh my bad, I didn't see Shender on a lap. As Eust comes around the final corner, massive lock up, and he goes 3rd position. Wow.
It's a Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You can go on for days. But you know what? I don't know whether Eust should have got that 3rd position, because I was watching him on board, and he properly extended that final corner again.
Oh.
Two
people have got a 5-place grid penalties. Back Yogurt. So Chris, Max, Jules, Sahilu and Martin will move up 2 positions. So Yannick ahead of Luke is a Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Max Rowe in P7, Jules in P8, Sahilu P9, Martin in P10, Cola Killer P11, Symbolics in P12, Ginger in P13, Fuzzy last. Both Alfa Romeos in P13 and P14. Sadly for Fuzzy, it's a whole second off his teammate Ginger.
Ooh, very, very interesting qualifying session. If this is the race where Yannick is going to claw back some points, it's definitely going to be this one. He's shown that he's got the paces. He's the only to go into the 128 around this Sochi Autodrome, and his championship rival, the championship leader Jules, is sat down in 9th position. Does he get any promotions due to those 5-second time penalties?
He'll get 2 places, I think. Yeah, he'll get 2 places.
He'll end up in
P7.
7th place. But that's still quite a gap in on track and in points scored. So you never know. Yannick could definitely fight back in this Grand Prix.
What a worse place to start for Shender, because he'll start on P11 from P6 and he's on the soft compound tyres and he's the last soft runner, and he's got the potential medium runner of Ginger ahead of him in P10. So what a worse place to start for him.
It's not what you want to be doing. But then again, around Russia, this is probably the only track where that wouldn't be too bad, because the tyre wedge doesn't exist around here, I find.
Soft and medium, easy.
Very, very easy indeed. I mean, if you came into a bit of a scuffle on the first lap, I reckon you could go onto the hards and go to the end. Very, very easily.
I think you can. I think you can indeed. Hard tyres will make it. There it is then, the 14 cars on the grid. We don't have 20 like we did last week. Monaco Grand Prix was very interesting. Can it be very interesting here in Russia with only 14 cars? So, in fact, Shedder does start P10. He doesn't start P11. So lucky for him, he don't start behind a medium runner. But mind you, he'll probably get ahead of the medium runner because he's on those soft compound tyres. If he did start behind Cola Killer.
Yeah, Cola Killer, Symbolics, Ginger, and Fuzzy. Unfortunately, as we've previously mentioned, the tyre wear really isn't that bad around here, so they're not going to be able to pull off some strategic masterclass.
Strategic masterclass can be if the safety car came at the right time for the medium runners, like lap 14 or something like that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need a good hint of luck. I don't think we'll be seeing any 5 stoppers.
Max, the only hash driver in this race. So after this race, there are 2 races left in Spain and in Hungary. Hopefully we'll have more drivers next week because the Euro games are on this week.
It all depends to the times, really. I think there's Euro games on every day until Thursday. Don't quote me on that, but it's football every day, so I'm not 100% sure whether people are going to be making this, or in other leagues as well, to be fair.
Bakayoga's got a habit of getting those 5-place grid penalties. Williams spun in the background, and that's is it Chris? Can't be Chris, surely. Nope, it's his teammate Cola Killer who's spun in the background, desperately trying to get temperature in those medium compound tyres. And who's that at the very front? That is Bakayoga, so he's gone around very quickly, hasn't he?
Yeah, he just went straight away. He corner cut turn 2 and you didn't see him again. He just disappeared.
Last car, the Williams, is yet to line up on the grid. Once he does that, the lights will start to go out and we'll see what happens down at turn 2, the heavy braking zone. Remember, first place is not always best to start, because second and third can get in the slipstream, but we're just waiting for the lights now to go out. There they are. And we are going to be underway for round 11 of the Russian Grand Prix. It seems like Yannick's got a really good start, but look at Chris, he's got a lightning start. He's past Jost, but he's in the slipstream of Luke. Luke's in the slipstream of Yannick as we make our way now down to turn 2. Chris, will he go down the inside? No. Will Luke go down the inside of Yannick? No, he doesn't. As Max has gone off the track, he has to take to escape road. He rejoined safely into 4th place. Bakayoko tried to go down the inside. There were 3 abreast: Chris, Max and Joachim. It didn't quite go well, but down the inside goes the Williams of Shender's spun. In the background, Shender has spun. He's lost his own plate. And here comes Martin around the outside of Bakayoko. And the side by side now going into that corner. Martin goes off the track but safely rejoins, doesn't hit the wall. They're still side by side. One of them's going to back out. Ginger up into P6 despite starting P13, so he's gained a lot of positions as Bakayoko. Oh, he bounces off the curb. Did you see that?
No, I missed that one.
Went airborne.
Wow. Jesus. But, to be completely honest, a very, very clean start for how Russian Grand Prix online races go. With Bakayoko trying to challenge down the inside of Ginger in the Alpha Romeo.
He forced himself down the inside. Oh no, he spun!
No.
There's 2 spinners. That's a McLaren who's just spun as well. Who's that?
Leader. That's Jules. Jules is round.
He's spinning. He's still spinning. That's a Hillu. That's a different McLaren.
Wow, I jinxed that one. The commentator's curse. I said that this start was relatively clean, as Yannick's just been overtaken.
No, he hasn't. It's the glitch, I think.
Been done over by the glitch there. But, commentator's curse, I said that it was relatively clean start, but unfortunately in this final sector everything's kicked off. The 2 McLarens have gone 360 and so has Ginger as well. That's so unfortunate.
Sihilo has pitted. I'm not surprised if Shedder doesn't pit. Ginger and Martin have pitted. Martin's on the hard compound tyres, Ginger's on the medium compound tyres. So Ginger then, it's going to be a 2-stop because I don't think those mediums can make it to the end of the Grand Prix. He's probably hoping for an optimistic safety car, as it's a high chance there'll be one, because it's proven before safety cars are very likely to come out. So Yannick has pulled away from Luke, and Luke's got Jost for company behind him. Martin's got a 3-second time penalty already. Yeah, he's got a 3-second time penalty. DRS is not enabled, it's enabled the next lap. So if you're wondering whether or not to use the DRS on lap 3, that's because we're still on lap 2 due to that stupid glitch we're having. Hopefully it'll sort itself out in 2021's game, because it's been happening throughout the whole of 2020's game. And Jules and Symbolics have had a nice scrap. Look at that, a midfield scrap. Look at that, it's going 3 wide. What's going on here? So the Renault's ahead, Jules is ahead, Fuzzy's ahead of Symbolics. We're all fighting Symbolics for P7. And Symbolics has been done over by 2 people. Now he's got Fuzzy right behind him. Symbolics gets out of shape just a bit. Jules struggling on the rear tyres. And Shender is up into P7 there. And Yannick set the fastest lap of the race. His DRS is now enabled on this lap. And Symbolics goes very deep as well. Allow Fuzzy to come closer to him.
Shender's going to be under a lot of pressure.
Oh, here's
Jules, I think.
Here's Max going around the outside. Chris is sticking with him. They go side by side. But look, yeah.
Oh, that was a close one. Chris nearly went straight into the wall there.
So Max up into P4 ahead of Chris. Chris tried to fight it as long as he could, but ended up nearly going in the wall. Luke's closed the gap down to 7/10 now behind Yannick, so he's got himself in the 1 second range of DRS. He's bringing along Jost with him. Further back is a 1.8 second gap over Max and Chris as well in P5, as the championship protagonist has got himself a 3-second time penalty on lap 3. Bakayoko has also got himself a 3-second time penalty, so not good for them whatsoever, as Bakayoko is right behind Chris, fighting him for P5. And Chris, will he fight it? I don't think so. He's just going to let him go, and up into P5 he goes there. Chris is falling down the order.
Yeah, Bakayoko not even using his overtake mode there now. Is down the straight. Jules not close enough to make a move on Shender down into turn 11. He's only 3/10 behind the Renault driver, but this is really spicing up now. Very, very interesting race. Not like what we usually get in real life Russian Grand Prix.
Jost keeps dipping in and out of that 1 second range of DRS. Has he got the DRS? Yes, he has, because Jost is right behind him, so he needs that extra support to keep Jost behind and still maintain his pursuit onto Yannick as we make our way onto lap 4. Into turn 2 we go then. Lockups everywhere now and then for those three. At the front, VAR Chris is still behind Bakke Yoga, so the battle for P5 is not over, but there's a yellow flag, and that is the hard runner of Martin. He's completely lost his front wing, he smashed into the wall. He was fighting Ginger, so one of those two came into contact with each other. Martin outbroke himself, and into the wall he went. He's going to have to make another trip back to the pits, sadly for him. And this race is pretty much done and dusted.
Very, very unfortunate for the Ferrari driver, as Fuzzy, trying to chase down Symbolics, takes a very interesting line coming through turn 4 as Martin's lost it again. I think he's just trying to get back to the pits at this point. And yeah, quite an interesting race. A few little battles starting to form in the pack.
VSR Yo still keeping FRL Luke under pressure, and Luke is outside that crucial 1 second range of DRS, so we don't have the extra support down the straight. And plus, Martin's retired in the pit lane, and look at Yost's ERS status. Look at that, 100% almost compared to Luke's.
He's using a little bit there. He was on 98%. He's properly saved that one. Try and break away. Yes, he is, as expected. Yost is 5 tenths behind. Luke is not going to have DRS from Yannick, unfortunately for him, as Yost really closing up. Is he going to make a move? No, he isn't. Very smart idea. A move like that down the inside of turn 2 is not a wise one at all.
Chris tried to have a go at Joachim, but Joachim still maintained in P5. Fuzzy is on the back of Symbolics, Symbolics being the highest medium runner in P9. Yost still keeping the pressure on Luke ahead of him. 3 tenths behind now. It's quite clear that Luke has dropped outside the 1 second range of DRS, so it's now his mindset is going to be focused on Yost for defending for P2, because he's outside the 1 second range of DRS of Yannick, and yeah, way more ERS compared to Luke. What's he going to try and do there? What's his strategy of defending from Yost? He's going to have a really good exit as Ginger has retired. Will that bring out a safety car? He's crashed at turn 3, where Corrosion crashed at 2015, and that doesn't bring a safety car.
No, not even a virtual. Oh, there we go. I was going to say not even a virtual safety car, but there we go. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Probably not what some of these drivers may
Hang
have
on.
wanted.
They're pitting. The top 3 are going to pit. Yep, they are pitting. That's a very early pit stop for the soft runners, but they're doing it. They're getting the pit stops out of the way at the very early stage of this race, so the medium runners will be frustrated. Say again, mate.
Everyone's coming in. Oh no, Jules is staying out. I think that's a bit of a mistake there from Jules, if I'm being completely honest. If you're lucky, you can stretch medium tyres out for these remaining 21 laps, as we're still not underway yet. We're looking for the pit stops. I do believe Yannick has gone onto hards, Yost is on hards, he's been jumped, Luke has, by Yost.
A drive-through penalty for Symbolics.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. That is so unfortunate. So as I was saying, Yannick on hards, Yost jumps Luke in the pit lane, he's also on hard, but Luke, Bakke Yogurt and Maxro are on mediums, whereas Chris and Shenda have come in for the hard tyres.
Look how close it is. Look how close Bakke Yogurt got. He was about 3 seconds away from our leaders, and now he's right behind Luke, so the virtual safety car has played into the hands of Joachim. Not only that, Maxro as well. Maxro has been jumped by Joachim. He was ahead of him. Oh! That's Symbolics who's just crashed.
Ah, that's so unlucky. He was looking very good as well for this one. So unfortunate after that virtual safety car. I reckon he could have gone quite deep into the race on those mediums. Then coming up turn 8 and turn 9, he's just got that little bit of oversteer and got into the wall as Fuzzy's trying to go down the inside of Cola Killer.
Bakke Yogurt. Oh, contact's been made, boys, and Luke was right behind Joachim, and Joachim had to cut the corner to avoid any action. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's a little harsh, to be fair.
Fuzzy versus Cola Killer. They're still fighting. and I think Cola Killer will get the DRS. He's right behind Fuzzy, so this should be an easy overtake for him, being right behind him and more ERS compared to him. So here we go then, on the straight for P2. Cola Killer pulls out to the left hand side. No, gets a penalty with it as well.
A bit of evasive action.
Yeah, Joachim had to take evasive action from Luke hit the back of him. I'm not quite sure because I didn't see it fully. I only saw after it when Joachim cut the corner completely to avoid Joost.
Yeah, I feel quite bad for Luke, to be fair, because when this virtual safety car came out, he was looking like he was competently defending from Joost, and now he's lost 2 positions, and he's starting to drop off the back of this little pack for provisional.
Oh no! It's gone terribly wrong down at turn 5. Max tried to go down the inside of Schender, but looks like Schender wasn't giving any inch to Max there. Max made a late move, and I don't think Schender saw it coming, so he had to pay the price for it, sadly for him. Max comfortably sat down in P4 and P5 before the virtual safety car happened, but somehow he's dropped all the way down into P10. And here comes Bakayoko again on Joost. He's about to make the overtake on him. They go side by side. Joachim breaks later than him, and good overtake from Bakayoko as Max has retired from the race. And a virtual safety car has been deployed. It's Jules. Where's Jules? Yes, he makes a very late pit stop call. I think in real life that would be a penalty, wouldn't it? Because you're not supposed to do that, are you?
I think that might be just a warning from the game. In real life, that would definitely be a penalty. But that virtual safety car has definitely played into the hands of Jules there. He was losing time hand over fist from the little train that was behind Yannick. I think it was about 11 seconds and it dropped to 9, so he's losing quite a lot of time to those medium and hard runners on those worn softs. And Jules could definitely go to the end now on these tyres, 1,000,000%.
He rejoins in P8 behind Chris. DRS is enabled as we get going once again. Cola Killer is our race leader, has a pitted jet. He started on the medium compound tyres. Joost locks up as Luke is all over the back of VSR Joost. Not going to make a move on down the inside on this occasion. Looking very interested for our net race leaders there, because Bakayoko is now right behind Yannick. Yannick and Joost are on the hard compound tyres. We expect them to struggle as the medium runners will be better at this stage of the race. And Joachim is right behind him now for the DRS point. He's got an 8-second time penalty, has Bakayoko. He'll get one of them removed, the 5-second one. And there goes Bakayoko, and there goes VSR Joost. Has been overtaken by FRL Loke, who's moved himself up into P5. Went a bit deep in the braking zone, but still he stays ahead of VSR Joost. So Yoga and Luke.
Yeah, that's showing the prominence of these medium tyres in comparison to the hards. Just checking the penalties. Cola Killer is currently sitting on 3 seconds. Bakayoko, for me it says he's got 16 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I know. It's only lap 9 as well. Yannick is currently sitting on 3 seconds, so is Luke, and also Schender down in P9 on 3 seconds worth of penalties. 16 seconds.
I wonder where he's picked up those penalties, because I didn't see any pop up, really.
I think he'll have. So I think 1 or 2 of them were a bit unfair, and potentially he'll have them taken off. Not 100% sure.
Alvin, Bakayoga's gone wide.
Yeah, that group headed by Bakayoko is really closing up to Fuzzy and Cola Killer, and they've only got 6 laps younger medium tyres as Fuzzy runs wide on in turn 7. And not even attempting to try and keep the car on the track.
We'll go on board with Fuzzy because he's right behind Cola Killer. In fact, he's lost a bit of time coming into right-hander. Cola Killer's got way more ERS compared to him. Fuzzy, oh, I don't think he'll make an overtake here. It's way too far back to make any overtake into here. What about Bakayoko? No, he's too far behind. Yannick on those hard compound tyres. The benefits of this track is you can stay within each other because it's very easy to stay with the slipstream as well. It's like a DRS train around here too, so super easy to stay in contact with your other rivals.
It'll be very interesting to see what the landscape of this Grand Prix will look like on the next game, as Jules is only, I was going to say 2 tenths, he's now 3 tenths behind. Any other overtakes?
Oh wow! Wow! What's going on? What's gone on there? What has gone on there?
That is definitely a collision between two cars. You don't just lose it there.
On a straight.
Right in the middle of the straight, and I do believe Fuzzy was behind Cola Killer. So maybe Fuzzy go for an overtake and he's just chopped the front end off after he's made the overtake stick.
We lost 4 drivers in this race: Max, Symbolics, Ginger, and Martine.
If we do finish the race, we're definitely scoring points. Bakayoko picks up another time penalty. He's currently sitting on how many penalties is he on now? 19 seconds.
He'll get disqualified for sure if you don't be careful.
Yeah, definitely. 19 seconds worth of penalties, I do believe, puts him right down the order, potentially 6th, I think.
So, they all caught up to Fuzzy in first place. The gap is 1.7 now between Bakayoko and Fuzzy. That is not me, by the way. I'm not quite sure what's going on with my graphics. You can see it's glitching in and out. I'm not quite sure. Fuzzy picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding. Now he's retired. Our race leader has now retired from the race in the pit lane. And Yannick right behind Bakayoko for P1. Yost keeping Luke honest in 3rd place there. Top 4 fighting for 1st place. Jules down in P5 on fresher tyres to all 4 of them, and all 4 of them on a big DRS train. So he'll catch up in no time, if he can catch up. 9 runners left in this race.
Cola Killer now coming into the pit lane for his pit stop after being potentially taken out on the previous lap time by Fuzzy. He puts on the soft tyres. That's an interesting move. He's got 16 laps to go and he's put on the soft tyres, potentially going for fastest lap maybe. He's got full ERS, so could be the play.
I can see, when I was aboard with Yannick, I can see Bakayoko struggling on the rear there, coming into the corners. I know he's not really, I know we don't really like the corners so much on this track, but the rear end just keeps stepping out, and it looks so tentative when we go on board with him. It just doesn't look comfortable in these corners. You can see there sliding as we approach the turn 13 and turn 14 there. It's the most common slide there, but like in other corners, really important corners like sector 2, he just starts to struggle a lot on the rear tyres, and that's how Yannick is able to stay in contact with him.
It'd be quite interesting to see if he actually pulls away from Yannick.
I don't think he can, because look, he's coming. He's going to make an overtake. He pulls out to the side. Yes, he does.
That was a very nice and clean overtake, but can Bakayoko respond through turn 3? If he uses his overtake, it's not one of those corners which is affected by dirty air, and you can...
There comes Luke. Luke's trying to go around the outside, but he couldn't quite make it. Luke had so much momentum in that left-hander, he almost overtook Bakayoko around the outside. Bakayoko, we all know, was fighting Yannick, but Luke came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he was on the back of him.
Yeah, that was juicy stuff, to be fair. But unfortunately, Eustace fallen out of the 1 second gap. That's what it's saying on the timing sheet, whereas he looks relatively close to Luke in front. Yeah, that's just my timing sheet's been a bit weird. He's got DRS, but is Bakayoko going to make a move on Yannick? He's got DRS, he's not using his overtake, so potentially saving it for the main straight. I think that might be quite a smart move, to be completely honest.
We'll have more grip in these corners being on the medium compound tyres. Bakayoko, so if he gets himself sorted out in the last corner and try and move back into the lead in lap 13.
Yeah, definitely a smart play from Bakayoko here, as Yannick is not going to have anything to defend with. They're on relatively the same ERS. You've got the DRS has Bakayoko.
Way more overspeed.
Let's have a look. I'll make the move stick then.
Where did Luke come out of on the previous lap time? Maybe when Yannick went down the inside of back yogurt, maybe possibly then, but you, Luke.
He could have been sitting behind Bakker Yogurt and Yannick to kind of assess their pace, see what corners they're weak at, and see the corners there where they're most strong. I know that was a trait of Valentino Rossi in MotoGP when he was prominent in that series. He'd sit behind the rider in front of him for about 4 or 5 laps and see where they're weak, and then plan an attack there. So maybe that's what Luke's doing.
Sadly for me, I'm not like quite patient or smart when it comes to racing. I just go for it. I don't assess my opponent's weaknesses or strengths. I just when there's an opportunity to overtake, I just do it. But everybody's got their different ways of approaching racing. You can be very smart and patient about it, but you can be very smart and go for it and try and defend. But yeah, we've all got our different tactics or ways of racing.
I see closing up here in P5. Our championship leader Jules, he's now 4 seconds behind on those medium tyres, the freshest tyres out of anyone using the hards or the mediums, so maybe he might come into play later on in this Grand Prix.
Okay, Yoga is so close behind Yannick, doesn't make an overtake here. I think he's trying to save the ERS because if he uses it right now he won't have any left to defend with later on in the Grand Prix, so he's just saving it. But yeah, just buying his time behind Yannick. But he needs to make these overtakes. He needs to make these overtakes while these medium tyres still last as well.
Yeah, definitely. A quick ERS check. Yannick is on 30%. Bakker Yogurt's on 33. Then we jump up to 60% with Luke.
And 100% with Joost. Oh god.
Yeah, that's why he's not attacking anyone. He's saving all of that ERS.
Just unbelievable. And further 4 seconds away is Jules. He's getting 1.5 seconds in the last few laps, but not enough to try and close it up on these guys. He needs to find more time if he's going to do that.
I think he's just going to be able to jump onto the back of this pack before the race ends if he keeps up with this pace. And Cola Killer actually has the fastest lap on the Grand Prix. So my prediction on that one was right. He came in for the soft tyres to set fastest lap and bagged himself a cheeky little extra point.
So heading on to lap 15 of this race, 27 laps, 12 laps to go in this race. Who is going to be our race leader? It's going to be most unlikely to be Jochen because of that 16-second time penalty. And Joost is most likely to win this race because he hasn't got a 3-second time penalty to his name. And there's Jules in the background just creeping up slightly.
Jules could actually end up finishing P2 if he closes in. As Luke gets another 3-second time penalty, that puts him up to 6 seconds. So as it stands, Jules is actually going to finish P3.
That's very interesting.
Really good damage limitation.
I'd say Bakayoko's done a good job despite that 5 place grid penalty, but the amount of penalties picked up is just, I don't think...
Yeah. 19 seconds worth of penalties.
About 3 more penalties to go, he'll be disqualified.
Yeah. And that is very easy to do around the Sochi Autodrome with 12.
It looks like Joost is a bit closer on this time round to Luke, but not close enough to try and overtake him into this corner.
He's still got 90% ERS, now on to 95%. So he's not using it, which shows that he's got the pace on these drivers ahead.
Oh, look at that, he's sliding through the corners and Luke is right up his tail. Bakayoko was sliding into turn 14 and 15 there. And look at that, Joost is putting pressure on Luke ahead of him. So Jochen showing signs of struggling on these tyres.
I think if I was Joost, I'd be going for this completely now, and that's what he was doing. He did use an overtake, but he only used about 10% of it. And now, now Luke is pulling away on the straight, so a bit odd. Still trying to figure out what Joost's game plan is.
definitely looks like, without looking at the gaps, that Jules is closer and closer and closing in on the top 4 drivers. If he keeps it nice and clean, and if he doesn't get any penalties, Jules will end up on the podium. There he is in the background, entering turn 5.
Yeah, he's now got him within the 3-second gap there. So he is a man on a mission on those medium tyres. He can definitely go to the end on them. I think most of these drivers will be going to the end. If not all of them. Maybe Sahilu may need to come in. But then again, he is on the hard tyres. And another little battle that's brewing is for P6 between Shender and Chris, as Chris just picks up a 3-second time penalty for track extending. Shender's going to have the run on him potentially down this straight, down into turn 11. He's got the DRS open, he's using overtake mode as he just turns that off. He's going to...
Oh, contact's been made!
There. Bit of contact there between the Renault driver and the Williams driver. But
Williams, Yost has got to pass Luke, and that's in the corner. You don't expect overtaking to happen. So it looks like it must be said that Luke made a mistake into turn 14 and 15, and Yost has got himself past the Dutchman for 3rd place. Now he's in the attack of Bakayoko. Guess what? He's barely got the ERS has Bakayoko compared to Yost. He's used it all. Luke's trying to fight back on VSR Yost. Again. Oh, Bakayoko got spunk without turn 2.
Ooh.
And he's retired. He's angry. He's absolutely furious. And I'll be furious. I've done that before myself too. It's very easy to spin there. And those tyres getting older and older.
Yeah, 10 lap mediums though. You'd expect them to go relatively a few more laps before they start properly wearing out. About 6 or so more laps before you'd be looking for a pit stop.
So... top 4 speed in the pit lane goes Koda.
The man with all of the penalties is now out of it.
Jules could win this race because Yost has got himself a 3-second time penalty.
He does. Luke's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. As you just said, Yost has picked up his first penalty of the Grand Prix, and Yannick has 3 seconds worth of penalties. So currently finishing, I think Jules is going to be finishing 3rd as it stands currently, but there is still 10 more laps left to go in this Grand Prix.
And Jules there sliding through turn 14 as we just saw him for a brief moment. It won't affect him too much, but he's closing in on the top 3 ahead of him. The top 4 has become the top 3 now as we lost Bakayoko from the Grand Prix as he spun coming out of turn 3. I think he just picked up too much throttle and lit the rear tyres up and gone into a spin. Very common to do so. I've seen other drivers do that before in turn 3. It's going to be very interesting now. Luke's tyres, as we progress further on in the Grand Prix, I expect him to drop away from the top 2 because his tyres will start to get older and older and degrade more. So it looks like the top 2 will have a bigger chance of winning this Grand Prix compared to Luke's odds, because him sat in P3 and his tyres getting older on those medium compound tyres is not going to help him. So looks like the top 2 then is the battle we're going to see.
I think Jules is in a bit of trouble here. Shender picks up a 3-second time penalty again. Jules, the only man with no penalties, he is dropping like a stone in water at the moment. He was, I think the closest he was to Luke was 2.7 seconds behind. As you can see now, he's 4.4 seconds behind. He's got barely any overtake left. I think he's really struggling.
Yeah, he is. Gap's going up and up and up. I just wonder if it's tyre wear issues.
I'd say he's still got about 7 or 8 laps left on those medium tyres before they start hitting the cliff. But as it stands, the way that he's falling behind Luke, he might not even get a podium.
Here we are on lap 19 then. The battle between Yannick, Yost and Luke, the 3 Dutchmans, trying to win the Russian Grand Prix. It's a Dutch top 6. Everybody here, 7 people here are Dutch and one of them's English. Guess who that is?
The Hillu.
Yeah, the only Englishman in this session.
He's currently riding around on his own, really, in P7. Got 15-lap-old medium tyres. He's been on those for more or less the majority of the race. Yeah, he's kind of in no man's land really. But he's going to be picking up some relatively decent points at the tail end of the drivers that are left.
Joost sat comfortably in P2, having more EOS compared to Yannick and Luke. Luke has started saving more EOS now, but the fuel warning light has come up on his MFD. Not much of a problem, he can easily save fuel around this track, but it's just there to warn him that he needs to start saving fuel. And that is Cola Killer, who's retired.
Oh, unfortunate. We didn't even manage to put in a full lap on those.
Oh, that's a big
tires.
crash.
We've got the VSC out as well.
So 7 people left in this race. We've lost
Nobody is coming in.
Coda Killer, Bake Yokum, Fuzzy, Max, Symbolics, Ginger and Martin.
I think Jules has made a mistake, you know, he's 6.6 seconds behind. I don't know what's gone on, but he's no longer in contention for a podium unless Luke gets another time penalty. Luke's currently sitting on 6 seconds, and there we go, he's now back within the 6 seconds, so I don't know what was going on there. He's on the verge, though, of losing that podium is our championship leader, Jules. And the man who's chasing him, Yannick, is currently leading this race. And the only one that can really challenge him is Joost, as they both have 3-second time penalties.
Luke almost lost it on that curb through turn 7. Looks like those medium tyres will start to feel it now.
Big lock up there as well.
Hoping to get another puncture like he did in Monaco.
Oh no, we can't. Just imagine if that happened again with these three. In the final sector, someone gets a puncture and one of them goes across the line backwards. To be fair, considering for most of this race we've only had 9 drivers, it's been quite an interesting one.
Yep, only 7 laps left to go in this race, and these 7 drivers can relax.
Yeah, it's been quite a stressful one, to be fair. For some of these drivers, as Joost is closed within 3/10 of Yannick now. Has a little look, shows himself in Yannick's mirrors, letting him know that he's still there and he's not dropped behind. So, a good little bit of mind games going on between Joost and Yannick on this track.
Schender has picked up a 10-second time penalty for, I don't know why, probably caught the corner, and another 5-second time penalty. Yep, he's going to crash, I bet you.
Yeah, he's going around as quick as he can. Fingers crossed he doesn't take out Jules or anything, because he's closing up to him pretty rapidly. 34 seconds worth of penalties. Let's see how many time penalties he can get before the end of this lap. Oh. He's on 42 seconds. And that doesn't put him last at the moment.
So Luke and Jules, the only drivers on the medium compound tyres. Luke being the oldest of 14-lap old tyres. Looks like they're starting to fade just a bit now, but he's still in the DRS range of Joost and Yannick. Those tyres are coming into play are the hard compound tyres. Luke's having to fight the car through the corners, trying to keep it on the track. And Joost is right behind Yannick. Will we see an overtake happen into turn 2? No, he won't.
I don't understand why he didn't go for it there. He's definitely got the speed.
I think, yeah, Yannick's desperately trying to get out of Joost's. And Schender has overtaken Jules for 4th place. I'm surprised not been disqualified yet.
He's got 66 seconds worth of penalties.
66, you said?
69.
Oh.
Nice. Got 69
How?
seconds
How?
worth of penalties.
74? How on earth has he not got disqualified? 74 second time penalties. How?
I haven't
Score.
got a
There we go.
clue.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. He's been
That's
disqualified.
the most ever penalties I've seen.
No, he should have left on 60.
74. I've seen somebody get disqualified at 30, and he's managed to last that long.
I haven't seen any more than 21 in a league race before. 74.
6 people left. I'm surprised these drivers are still racing.
Ooh, Luke picked up another 3-second time penalty while we were watching how many time penalties Shender was going to get. Luke more or less guarantees Jules getting that podium now if he manages to keep it clean. Jules is pretty much on the cusp of those 6 seconds originally. It's 5.9 behind Luke. It was touch and go whether he's going to actually get that podium, but it looks like he will get it now. As Luke potentially looking at a move on Yost. I'll jump on forward with him now. He's in the slipstream. Yost
Go on, Luke.
Oh!
Oh!
He sent it.
Oh!
Good save. Good save. It was a risky one. It was a risky one, but he's managed to hold on to it just.
Go on, Luke. Give us some action.
Yeah, he's giving us a bit of action to commentate on as towards the end of this race it starts to become a little bit stale as Yost, even though he's got the pace over Yannick, just isn't pulling the pin on an overtake here, and he just isn't getting to him, unfortunately. He's got the ERS. He's actually allowed Yannick to save up 51% of his ERS by just not attacking him, so Yannick doesn't need to use it.
Oh, he almost lost it, Luke. He kept the ERS on into a corner. You're not supposed to do that because it gives you more energy through the rear tyres, and once you get the power, it's going to light them up. But yeah, you're not supposed to keep overtake on in the corners. I smell something cooking nice outside. Chris is spun.
Chris has gone. What is he doing?
I think he's got a gearbox issue. I'm joking, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's realised he's got quite a big gap to Sahilu behind, who's just come into the pits to fit on the soft tyre, and he's actually already claimed fastest lap in this Grand Prix. I can see him going for it again. So Chris knows that he's pretty much safe to hold on to that P5.
Lap 24 out of 27. The battle for first is still on, but Luke has dropped himself out the 1 second range of DRS. He tried to make a move on Yost in the previous lap, but it didn't quite work out well for him. And it looked like he'll have to settle for P4 because Jules is in his window.
Yeah, I think that's really good damage limitation from Jules, I think.
Chris has pitted to put on a brand new set of softs and go for the fastest lap. Did you see that?
Yep, Yost doing a bit of a drift through turn 8 and 9. I actually don't know how he managed to hold on to that. Very good save.
As you can see, a lot of lockups into the heavy braking zones.
We've got an overtake. Chris has been overtaken by Sahilu as Chris has come out. He's come into the pits and put on those soft tyres, and I think he's going for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix now. So it'll be interesting to see who out of Chris and Sahilu is going to get that fastest lap.
Lap 25 now out of 27. Yost's going to pull the pin very soon.
See, he's not using his ERS. I genuinely think if he'd used his ERS down that straight there, he'd be in first place.
It's all tactical, really. He knows what he's doing. He can easily get him.
Yeah, and I mean, after that big slide through turns 8 and turn 9, and he's already caught up to the back of Yannick, it shows that he's got the pace. I think he's going to leave it to the last lap, you know. And if he does leave it to the last lap, he's got to be very careful indeed to make sure that he can definitely pull it off, because if that backfires, then he's lost the win. Yannick and Yost still on 3 3-second time penalty, so nothing's changed on a time penalty front. Looks like Jules is still going to take the home P3, as he's not got any time penalties. Fingers crossed neither Yannick or Joost actually pick up another time penalty, because that would really spoil the end of this race, I think.
So 14 cars in the beginning, and now we've only got 6 as Sahilu picks up a 3-second time penalty. Heading on to the penultimate lap. Will Joost do it this lap or the next one? He's using his DRS, he's getting ready, here he comes. DRS wide open, he's using his DRS, same with Yannick. Yannick knows he's going to do it in this lap, and he doesn't make the move into turn 2. He makes contact with him.
Contact.
I hope Joost hasn't damaged his front wing.
Both of them have 19.
There we go again. Looks like we're going to go again, boys.
Oh, he's sending it, he's sending it.
Oh.
Both of them have 19-lap-old hard tyres. So this is going to be like driving on ice at this point in the Grand Prix.
You think that's bad? What about Luke on those medium tyres?
19-lap-old mediums, and he's still not too far behind.
If you look at the state of those hards, look at the state of those mediums, they're ever going. Will Joost get it done into the next corner? Yannick is using all of his EOS, he knows that an attack is coming. He's going to go down the inside into this next corner, he's going to send it. No, he's not, he hits the back of him again.
Another little tap. Surprisingly enough, around the Sochi Autodrome you can get away with a yellow end plate. It doesn't affect you too much. It's going to be all or nothing now, I think, for Joost.
They've both got the EOS to use down the straight. Yannick almost lost it going on the final corner, but here we go then. For the last time around Russia, thankfully. Joost versus Yannick. Which Dutchman is going to win the Russian Grand Prix? Joost pulls out to the right hand side as he goes down the inside into turn 2. Has he got the move done? Yes, he has, but will Yannick fight back underneath him? He cuts him off, he doesn't allow it. He don't allow it.
An aggressive squeeze, but all fair. And Yannick has literally 3% ERS left, whereas Joost has a healthy 20% in comparison to his fellow Dutchman. Joost's actually set fastest first sector on the final lap on 20-lap-old cars.
Unbelievable. Now he's finally in clean air for the first time in this race.
You've got to be careful. As both of them. Yannick's on a 3-second time.
It wasn't Joost. It was Chris. It was Chris who picked up the 3-second time penalty.
That's completely my bad. But Yannick has got a 3-second time penalty there. He hit the sausage curb on turn 8, and that has sent him out wide. And unfortunately for him, he's been outplayed here by Joost, I think.
Yep. I think that's. I've seen a lot of people do it before, just wait to the last lap, and that's exactly what's just happened. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't, as they both slide through turn 14 and 15. Luke will be happy to end this race because those medium tyres, I'm sure, are definitely gone. Joost will come around the final corner to win the Russian Grand Prix. Yannick finishes in P2. Luke will finish in P3. VR Jules will come home to finish in P4. His McLaren teammate is 5th place. There he is then, just entering sector 2. So is Chris. Sahilu then after
takes P3.
Oh yeah.
The line, thanks to time penalties for Luke. He had 9 seconds, and Jules managed to go the entire race without picking one up.
Sahilu, both McLarens spun at the start of the race, and now they're going to finish in 3rd and 5th.
What a recovery drive from Jules.
There's only 6 of them left.
It's like Demolition Derby. Last man standing.
You got your yellow flags in sector 3. That's Chris slowing down, I think. Here is Sahilu then.
He knows he's got 6th place.
Sahilu will finish in P5, and the last man will be Chris. Here he is then, round in the final corner. Will finish in P6 with a stylish move at the end.
What a race though, considering that we had more or less 3/4 of the grid, and then another 5 drivers retired early on in the Grand Prix, so we were left with 9. What a race!
I'm actually glad that the race is done because there's only 6 left.
Yeah.
So what a race towards the end. Luke sadly didn't pick up a podium. And it's a Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4. Sahilo will finish in P5 ahead of Chris Shender. P7 ahead of Cola Killer. Bakayoko will finish P9 ahead of Fuzzy. Max in P11. Symbolics P12. Ginger P13. And Martin will finish in P14. On to the Spanish Grand Prix for the next one. Hopefully it'll be much better with more drivers turning up and finishing.
Yeah, very interesting Grand Prix this one. With 2 rounds left to go, Jules holds on to the championship lead, but I do believe that is going to be sliced down by Yannick. Not by much though, after a brilliant recovery drive by Jules, even though there were 6 finishes in the Grand Prix.
Right, that'll be it then for round 11, and we'll see you all next week in Spain. See you all later. Goodbye for now.
See you later.